Hello and welcome back to another UMR track showcase here today. We only have one today. I've got a little bit less time, so it is just the one this time around. I said we'd be trying to aim for two, but hopefully next time we'll get the two in. The name of the track is on screen. This is City of Canals by UJkey. Very interesting. This took ages to load. This took absolutely ages to load. But interesting straight off the get-go. I'm just going to let you know what the description said. So it's quite a short description to this. And they sort of gave a bit of a warning saying it was created before the painting was as open as it is now. So they had to use glitches to get most of the colour differences that are seen. So it's very poorly optimized. So a nice little warning there. And this is possibly the most amount of objects I've seen used in a track. I don't even know if I can call it a track, because looking at it, obviously I've loaded it up and got into starting position. I don't think it's a racetrack. I think this is purely cosmetic. But we're about to see anyway. We'll find out in a minute. Yeah, this has like the most objects I think I've ever seen in a map, let's say. This alone looks amazing already. Even Cheese's space track, I think so. Well, this has around 55,000. So it might be close. It took ages to load. It's running just barely. It's definitely making everything else run slow on my computer. I definitely don't have a supercomputer. But absolutely stunning looking, especially because when you really dive into this, because I was thinking, where are all the blocks? Because if we just zoom out a minute here, this is it. Okay, this is the whole thing. And I was thinking at first, like, how is this 55,000 objects? And then you, whoop, bit too quick. And then you sort of look into everything, and you realize that everything, like all of these, look like they are individual pieces. And it looks like they're layered. So it's when you start to realize all the fine details that it gets pretty crazy. But to go to the start, you actually start in here with a bunch of arrows telling you which way to go. Now, the first bit of optimization, maybe reduce the number of arrows. I'm sure that won't change much, but could probably reduce some pieces. And then you go in through here, and again they've got layers of. It's like going through a portal. Now we do have starting blocks here, and I do have. I'll bring this up. We do have the join if you want to join. But like I said, I don't think it's a track. These are purely. If I go and click on it, are purely water. They're all just named water. So I think it's pretty much a cosmetic thing. Fluids is also watching. So we need to add a fluids into the list of water. I don't know if we're going to need to replace one, but let's replace one. There we go. I assume that's where everyone will be spawning, somewhere in here, to make up the water of this canal. So like I say, some of these suggestions may not necessarily be races. I think this is one of those. So we'll have a look around and we'll get this water flowing and see. Very bright. Right, there we go. Now if people, I don't know much about these settings, spawn on join, right? So I think that means if people join, we also need to get their names on as well. There we go. So we have our flowing water, and somewhere in here, if you can spot your names, there will be names in there. I think I can see a blur. I do see a blur with the trail for the sub trail. And somewhere in here there is a there's a wheat man, and there's a fluids. And there's another wheat man, another blur. See, I think if people use join now as well, I think they should get put there if I got that setting right. But it looks like this just flows all the way to the end and just piles up. Not sure how old this track is. As I said, it was before the painting is to the extent it is now, so it might be a fairly old design track. Otherwise, you could probably put a portal over there to allow them to flow back again. So there we go, we got to see how that worked. That they are the only spawning positions from what I can make out. So let's have a look around some of the details here. So we have a bunch of buildings. It seems like it might be almost based on Venice, at a guess. I think you can make a track out of it. It would be tricky. You probably could. The way this runs though, the frame rate, I don't know how smooth it would be. Yeah, you could probably run a track along these edges. I don't know how well they'll run over this terrain. I feel like it might be a bit rough. Narrow track on the pavement, crossing over the bridges, maybe some portals. Yeah, you could do something quite interesting with it. Not sure if there's still any development going on this track though. So we have buildings either side, quite cool with the lit up areas. Looking like they've got lights on. I'm guessing all of these are just empty. Yeah. Hollow buildings. Oh. And it's just totally frozen. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, if this crashes, no way I'm loading this again. It took ages. I quite like the style as well for the doors and the windows. It's very Tim Burton. I think that's the right name. Tim Burton-esque. Sort of like Nightmare Before Christmas style with the slanted look to the frames, which is kind of cool. And these little lamps as well are really impressive. Just the small details. I can't even get close to without them blurring. There we go. I imagine that must have been so. Yeah, it's Tim Burton. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a cartoony look. Very cool map. Doesn't feel like very much racing. Yeah, some of these submissions, some of those we look in these track showcases aren't necessarily for races, but just to showcase some creativity as well. I imagine this must have been so annoying to do. Getting all these little fine bits into place. And the pillars as well, like the way they sort of lean in. The boats are pretty cool as well. Very nicely done. Same with the bricks as well, and they're not all totally flush. We've got these wonky ones, which I can only guess was done on purpose to give it a bit more of a natural look, rather than it being very finely placed one after another, very copy and paste look. And the flowing water coming down the sides. Don't think there's anything underneath. No, there's nothing hiding underneath. Got the little pipes coming in with a bit of greenery on them. One of the boats is tied down. Head through the canal first. And down into the bushes at the end. Okay, let's have a look at all of these different houses then. Got some balconies on some of these as well. And different roof styles, which is pretty cool. And again, that sort of cartoony look to the shape of them. It's quite nice. Not enough pizzas and Vespers. That is true. We've also got these, which I'm assuming are meant to be like air vents. Possibly for like either aircon or for air to escape the buildings. What you usually see on the side of city buildings with the fans on. Got some greenery growing on them. Really cool tile effects up here. So yeah, some good detail going into this, and the variety other than just a straight up copy and paste of everything, and the cool little bins as well. In fact, they even have stuff in them. Very, very sus looking stuff in them. Just fruit. Someone throwing away some fruit. But yeah, they've even put stuff in the the bins. We have our food area. It probably should say pizza. And we're gonna get age restricted. Them ones are closed. I think we'll leave them ones where they are. But this building seems a little bit sunk into the ground. We've had a couple of these too. They're sinking. Very good scale as well. The scaling's done incredibly well on this. Like, if you think you'd be stood here looking up, the scaling is very, very good. Sense of scale and height and everything. And the walls with the almost like the barbed wiring over them. Quite like the look of that. Not sure what the building's meant to be. It almost looks like a side of a prison. Just having a look at all the houses. Some of them don't have doors. I'm not sure how to get into them. I think some of them have got a bit offset, whether that's due to updates since it's been made or just the design. Who knows? Some of these aren't straight as well. Like you see, this one curves inwards and outwards to fit the sort of aesthetics of the cartoony look. Could be a prison. Could be. It could be. So yeah, I think that is basically it on this track. Should I call it a track? This map. There's a bridge in Venice called the Bridge of Sighs, where prisoners could look outside one last time before getting locked up forever or executed. I did not know that. That is interesting. I learn something new every day. Maybe that's this place. Look out the window. Learn something new every day. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. Of course, it's not. It's just wall. Yeah, it is. It's not a practical racing track in terms of racing, but for design, for style and creativity, it's very nice looking. Very nice looking indeed. Let's mess with some stuff. Let's have a look. So these are literally just individual blocks that have all been placed. God, this must be a nightmare to build. Got all these little pieces in here. And loading this constantly as well. Just to add to it. Are the tables nails? They are. That is a good spot. That's very clever. Oh my goodness, and these aren't even circles. These are just loads of rectangles. Oh my goodness, I would not have the patience for even a quarter of this track. That is wild. Take note, people that do want to put this level of time and detail. Here's some good ideas for cosmetics and aesthetics for tracks. Need a NASA computer to open this. Yeah, it did take a bit out of the computer to open. So this is a nail that's been extended with a cylinder made slightly wider for the lower part. Can't even click on this top bit. Why can't I click on the top bit? Strange. That's crazy, crazy thinking. So what exactly is going on with these? Oh my god, I didn't even think that... I see where all the parts are now. I didn't even think about all of the. This is almost like unnecessary detail that's just there for detail's sake. That is actually crazy. And I know once you build this, you can just save the prefab and load it in or copy and paste it, but even just building it in the first place with all those little details in it, I think I probably would just in a grey box. That is crazy. Imagine working as Matt and having to load every time you boot up the game for details like this. Exactly, it's just... Oh, these are nails as well to get the spiky ends. At least these are long. They haven't done individual squares for these. That saves a bit of loading time. So the windows, of course, these are going to be single bits as well. And then these are obviously, yeah, individual. These are actually track pieces, right? Actually go back so far. Yeah, I think these are actually track pieces. Yeah, confirmed by Iceman. Every normal human would have done just a grey box. Wow, it's the extra details, isn't it? Jeez. Actually wild. Crazy amounts of detail. I've never come across this person's name in tracks before, so I do wonder what else they do. What other tracks they may have, and whether they're as detailed as this. Because this is pretty crazy. So yeah, if you want to check it out for yourself, if you are able to load this crazy detailed track, then it is City of Canals on the Workshop by you, Jakey. Might have to take a look at their workshop page and see what else they have, if anything. But yeah, I did say it was going to be a bit of a shorter one today, and I guess this kind of fits that quite well. I also really like, I don't know if it's just me that finds it kind of satisfying just watching the world, all the little blocks loading in as you go across, because of the render distance, which I think is, I don't know if you can change, I think it's set on this game. Yeah, just just enjoying watching that going back and forth. Yeah, you know what? I really like the detail on this. It's a really cool map. Obviously not a racetrack, but really cool in terms of the amount of detail and work that looks like it's gone into this. Very nice aesthetics as well. Like I say, the kind of cartoony Tim Burton look is really cool, really unique. Adds a nice bit of character to it. You know, everything is not just flush and in line. Everything's got a slight offset to it, which just adds extra character to the map. Looks like they're pretty active on the Discord, but left a while ago. It's a shame. Maybe they've moved on from Marble World. Do you choose them for yourself, or do you take them from the track submissions? So I've had some in a list that I already had from when we stopped doing track showcases before, and then I add all the ones from the track submissions. Not necessarily every single one, but I'll usually try and get most of them if I can. I'll try and do them all. But obviously, if you went and submitted every Marble GP, for example, I can't guarantee I'm going to track showcase every Marble GP. And if it's been in a season, so there are some that have been submitted that we've used in the season because I've already looked at them, then I won't do a track showcase on it because we've already seen it. We've raced on it. It's already been approved by myself. So every single one. No, could not go through every single one. Plus, I do have plans to do a Marble GP series anyway, so we will be looking at quite a few of them when we do that. But yeah, I'll try and get through as many as I can from the submission list. I'll try and say every single one, but if I say that, if I miss one or skip one, then that comes back on me. I can't guarantee it. But majority, yeah. So if there's any you like or any that you've made, send them over to the Discord in the submissions area. They do have at least one more track. But you know what? While I'm here, I'm not going to load it up because who knows how long the next one could take. I'm going to have a quick look on their workshop and see they do so. So it looks like a lot of the things they have are, they've got some prefabs, and they do have a couple of tracks, it looks like. So they've got one called Journey, which I don't think is a racetrack looking at the picture. It looks like it might be another sort of cosmetic looking one, but then they've got Marble Mountain, which looks like it could be a track. A thrilling trip through the infamous Marble Mountain. 5,000 parts. Yeah, so they do have a track as well. It wasn't clear. Obviously did not submit all the tracks in the track showcase. Don't want to take over the whole server. Yeah, that'd be quite the long list. I know there are a few in there. I might split those up because I usually go through in order of submission, but just for the sake of difference, so we're not doing like just all the Marble GPs in a row. I might just break them up a little bit. I'll do that with most people's anyway, just so we're not almost bulking in one person's tracks in one go over weeks. Yeah, I know there's a few in there. The list, we've got quite a few to go on. We may not get through them all before the next season, but as I say, I'm planning on doing these track showcases between every season. So whatever we don't get to before the next season starts, will get covered afterwards. And speaking of next season, just very quickly, I'm aiming for around a month between seasons. That's my goal to try and stick to, is around a month. I think that should be enough time to do the whole tier list, which we have done and is on the channel. A few track showcases, people to move teams, any new people to join the Discord and sign up, whatever the YouTube videos to go up. Decide what tracks are going to be coming in and testing them, and all the other prep that needs to go into, like the intro will probably need updating a little bit. I'll probably put out a trailer for it, you know, all that sort of stuff. I think a month between seasons, maybe a month and a half. I'm aiming for a month between seasons. So for those that want to know when the next season's coming, just under a month at this point. That's the aim. It'll, obviously the Halloween, I think it'll be basically shortly after the Halloween stream. How many signups? Well, the signups that went out at the moment are just for the Halloween event. So we don't actually have signups open for the... Oh, you are asking for the Halloween one. Let me know when you put together the track list for the Marble GP. I will do. I will probably discuss that with you, Iceman, to decide which ones are best, and then also off an idea, which I think it was Wur that gave the idea. I might be wrong. Around people's nations, like making sure we include everyone's nations as well. So I'll probably be asking in the Discord for people if they want to share what country they're from. Then I'll make sure to include those as well if there's a Marble GP for that country. So we'll start with that, and then I'll probably discuss with you, Iceman, around what you think the best ones are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was. Might be wrong. Who knows? Yes, what was I doing? How many signups? That's what it was. And then we'll probably be calling this stream once I've done this. Like I said, a bit of a shorter one. But good track. Impressive track. Definitely. Okay, where are these signups? Let's have a look. We have 10 signups at the moment. So currently 10 people competing for the Halloween event. I know there's going to be more than that in the next season because I know of a few people that have spoke to me, some people that I know outside of necessarily just streaming as well, that have said they want to sign up to the new season, which is great. So I'm expecting, let's say if we run off 10 as the base point, I'm probably expecting another 4 or 5, I think, that have spoke to me about signing up. I feel like I'm going to have to actually nudge them about it because they're not regular Discord users and tend not to see anything I put on Discord. So you have to nudge them on a more personal level about signing up and when that opens. But yes, we should have a pretty decent amount going to the next season as well. Hopefully more to come. Hopefully more to come. I remember the person said something about Yamar squad having 3 or 4 people from Netherlands. Yeah. That's people where they're from. I'm going to snooze this ad break. We don't need an ad break. Not long enough for that. Need an unlucky number 13 for Halloween. Yeah. If we can get 3 more, then maybe we can. At this point, 99% sure I won't be able to finish my Halloween track until I stream suddenly. That is no worries at all. I'm sure we'll be able to find another track to cover for this year. I think there are some in the works. But as of yet, it is unconfirmed what tracks we're going to be using. So I'll be having a look probably in the week leading up to Halloween, doing some testing, see what tracks we have, if any have been submitted, or if there are any that look interesting on the workshop, if there aren't any submissions. It can still be part of the normal season. Hey, if it's good enough to get into a normal season, it may well be able to. Yeah, we will see, or maybe it'll be next year's. We have a whole year to finish it. But hey, that is going to do it for this one. Nice, short and sweet. And again, City of Canals by you, Jakey. Very impressive, very high amount of detail. Something very different than what we usually look at. But as I said before, these track showcases can be anything you want. Either races or runs, I guess. I think that's the other term. For ones that aren't lapped. Marble machines. Or just creative pieces. I guess you could almost call this a creative piece of art. And yes, I am just going back and forth watching the tiles. Yeah, that is going to do it for this one. And hopefully we'll be back next week with 2 track showcases. I'll be getting through this list and getting onto the new submissions that have been sent in. There are absolutely loads, like I say. There's loads to go through. I know there's loads in the submissions. I actually went to have a quick look before starting this and was surprised by how many. I thought, like, I've been looking in there, but I didn't quite realise how many submissions we've actually had since the track showcases stopped. So yeah, quite a few to get through. But that is going to do it for this one. So, have a good day, good night, good evening, good morning, good, whatever it is, wherever you are. And thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.